Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Rifa Fadil, and I'm from English Department of PkBL Learning. In this video, I would like to present English teaching methodology. It's called PjBL project based learning, PBL problem based learning, and discovered learning. This video is also an assignment to complete the final semester exam in the subject of English teaching methodology, taught by lecturers Miss Risa Sanriskia MPD. In this time, I will to discuss about uh, project-based learning. Project-based learning, or we call PjBL, is a learning model that makes learners the subject or centers of the learning process. With the emphasis on the learning journey and the final product, this means that learners are given the freedom to determine their own learning activities, work project collaboratively until a product is obtained. Project-based learning is specific strategy in learning to make classroom that generally use conventional or traditional learning becomes a more creative or innovative, yes, creative way. Okay. It also the teaching method require students to work together in a groups and developing their new ways or mindset. Next, I will to discuss about history and base content about project-based learning. Okay, project-based learning introduced way back in ancient times around 40s 47 until 55 Masai or AD by Confucius, a Chinese sage who was known for discussing and debating with his students. However, it was an American philosopher, John Dewey or John Dewey, uh, I don't know how to spelling, considered as the inventor and introduced this method to the world in 1916. In 1916, students work together in groups to work in a different project. Project-based learning is meaningful and active. Teachers can find opportunities and challenge students' ability skill levels. The students become experienced in project work and find more information. Next is principles. In this method, project-based learning had a principles according by Thomas. Principles of project-based learning, it's divided into 5 sections. First, number one is centrality. Number two, driving question. Number three, constructive investigation. Number four is anatomy, and last, number five is realism, advantage and disadvantage. In advantage, number one, students get to work together in teams, which help to improve their collaboration and communication. Number two, students are pushed to think outside the box and come up with a creative solution to challenge. And number three, it helps students develop important skills like time management, leadership, and conflict resolution. And in a disadvantage, the student taking a lot of time, like working on and took a solved problem to completing project can take way longer than traditional methods. And number two, assessing the result can be tricky, especially if there aren't clear criteria for success. And next material I will to discuss about PBL or problem-based learning. Problem-based learning is a learning approach that enables students to learn while engaging actively with meaningful problems. PBL helps students develop critical thinking skills, uh, collaboration skills, and the ability to create knowledge through self-directed learning. So, implementation. Teacher behavior. The teacher introduces and discusses the problem without direct solution. The teacher motivates the student to engage in problem solving. Teachers provide feedback to refine or strengthen students' argument. Teachers provide support without taking over students' responsibility for finding solution and facilitate students' skills like teamwork, time management, and communication. So, in problem-based learning, it starts with a real problem, a problem that students have to solve through investigation or research, like figuring out what's causing the problem and how to fix it. Usually, the students wouldn't have a definite answer yet. However, in this learning method, the students emphasize to try think critically. Advantage in disadvantage in problem-based learning. In advantage, number one, encourage students to think critically and creatively thinking to find solution. And number two, learning application make easier for students to retain and apply knowledge in the future. And number three, motivate students in learning. In disadvantage, number one, students not display enough maturity to effectively work in a group, not fulfilling expectation and distracting other students. Number two, students have a low self-confidence and find it difficult to try. And last, number three, it is difficult to find good cooperation strategy or way to solving the problems. Discover learning. Discover learning is a learning method that applies inquiry based instruction. The discover learning method will encourage students to investigate on their own, build on past experience and knowledge, use intuition, imagination, creativity, seek new information to find fact, correlation, and new truths. In this case, learning is not the same as absorbing what is said or read, but students will learn to actively seek answers and solutions themselves. Principle. Discover learning integrates three principles in its application, including first, number one is problem solving. The trainer, instructor, or teacher will guide and motivate participants to find solutions by combining exciting information then simplifying the information. Number two is learning management follow the students. Instructors should allow students to work alone or with others. In discovery learning, students learn at their own pace. Number three, failure and feedback. Learning doesn't just happen when you find the right answer. Learners can also learn from failure. Discover learning focus not on finding the right end result, but on the new things that can be discovered in the process. Advantage and disadvantage. In advantage, number one is encourage students to think critically and creatively thinking to find solution. It's it's really same like in advantage in problem-based learning, right? And number two, learning according to the capacity and speed of students. And number three, students are given the freedom to experiment, explore alternatives, and develop innovative solutions. And in this advantage, number one, the students can be frustrating without guidance. Some students might feel lost, overwhelmed, which can make them to give up. And number two, some students prefer clear instruction and might find this method confusing or stressful. Maybe that's all from me. I'm really sorry. Please excuse me if I have a lot of shortcomings and mistakes. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.